Right, go.
Okay, so I was looking for my toenail that fell off. It's such a strange statement.
Okay. Random way to begin a video.
And I was sad that I lost it. So I was looking around where I've been, and I knew that I had raked this little pile over here. So I was like, all right, it's got to be in here, right? Oh, wait, I think I just realized. Okay. Now I know where it is. And I was looking around and I said, huh, that's a different color leaf. Well, let me check to see if this leaf is the nail. And guess what? It is. This is my toenail. Which came from my toe because I was at my mother's place and I hit my toe really hard against a tree stump. Long story. And the nail had been coming off and had broken off recently. And it was being held on just by the mere, like right here on this little edge of the skin. And so it kept coming off and it kept flipping up. And to protect the growing toe underneath, I kept flipping it back in and tucking it back in. And it would flip back up every time I hit something. So every time I hit something, it would fly up. And then there's a little groove. I don't know if you can see this little groove right here. And so it was this little groove. And so I would just tuck it back in so I'd have a protective shell on my foot. Because underneath, I don't know if you can see it. Now it's really hard to get out. Underneath there's this little nail that's actually growing back. It looks gnarly, it really does. But it came in. But it's just, a form of protection. Now you do have to be careful if you do that because if it gets moist, I don't know if you can see that little bit of green. That's actually a bacteria that got in there from walking around in 3 or 4 inch water that was flooding the yard. So be careful with that. And you just soak it in vinegar afterwards and that's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and attach it back on. To have my little shell, although I probably should just go ahead and leave it off at this point.
Tape it.
And yeah, you know what? It actually feels like it's too small. So I think in the process of coming off, whatever was keeping it attached must have keeping it alive just enough because you can see it's all white now. Before, only the tip was white. No, this part was still a different color.
It was still attached.
And
right?
I think
it was still folded down flat onto the
just
skin.
in the process of coming off for the last 15 minutes, it dried up, and that's the reason why it feels too tight to be actually on my toenail. That is fascinating. Yeah, like I feel it, and I'm like, oh, that's too tight. So in the process of dying, it like shriveled up. That's crazy. Okay, crazy experiences. Hi, kitty. Yeah, kitty's like, pay attention to me, not your toe. Yeah, are you hungry?